We've all been wrong about Cyberpunk 2077. Since its release, we've seen this game as the story of V fighting against time to try and save themselves. But now, we have the DLC Phantom Liberty, and we can truly analyze what this game is all about, helping us answer the question, what exactly is happening in Night City in 2077? Here's where the Flamingo Theory comes in. Will it help us answer this question once and for all, or will it just leave us with even more questions that we need to find answers to? Hello and welcome back to the channel. The Flamingo Theory is quite confusing, but also very entertaining. Originally, it was supposed to be part of my iceberg video, but I quickly realized that dropping this 2 hours into the video would just cook people's brains, basically. Fatigue will have kicked in, and it's going to be quite difficult to try and keep up. That's why I'm making this into a separate video, so people can be familiar with the theory before I bring it up again in the iceberg video. So what exactly is the Flamingo Theory? In May 2063, Night City adopted the Avian Extermination Act. The Night City Council decided that the most effective method to stop infections amongst residents was to be via the extermination of all avian life within 18 miles of the city limits. Simply put, all birds are going to be killed in and around Night City, including all flamingos. Walking around Night City, we see a huge variety of flamingo statues. Everything from small ones that can be placed on a table to massive statues like the ones we find in Pacifica. All these flamingos are a symbol of something very, very strange. Something so strange, in fact, that it warrants a theory video of its own. Before we dive in, let's give credit to the individuals that contributed to the idea behind the Flamingo Theory. A few weeks ago, in October of the year 2024, Reddit user FallWalking posted a humor post on the subreddit FF06B5 with the title, "My Child Figured It Out." Here's the original post. This was obviously meant to be a joke, right? Obviously. It's just a child's homework. FallWalking was just having a little bit of fun with the community, because since the initial solution of FF06B5 was found, the community has been less and less active, so this fun post was appreciated by all of us. A few minutes later, an OG of the community commented something that made the post go from a fun little post to an additional piece of evidence linked to the conclusion of both FF06B5 and the simulation theory. Let's break this down step by step. During the epistrophe missions, we have a submission in Rancho Coronado where a Delamain AI called Clarice is running around scared of flamingos. The key takeaway from this interaction is that Clarice believes that the flamingos are hiding something insidious. This sounds silly at first, but as we talk about this theory, you'll realize that she was onto something. Even more important than this is the fact that Clarice quotes Nietzsche. She tells us, "Only one with chaos within can give birth to a dancing star." This is a quote taken straight from Thus Spoke Zarathustra, a book in which Nietzsche explores concepts like the Übermensch, the death of God, and the idea of eternal recurrence. Eternal recurrence is the foundational idea behind the simulation theory as seen in movies like The Matrix and books like Neuromancer. It also has to be mentioned that the book Thus Spoke Zarathustra is also an important piece in the Mother theory. This idea basically means that you are trapped in a reality where you are bound to make a set of actions, always under the watchful eye of a higher power. This higher power is not God, because as Nietzsche expands upon in his book, God is dead, so the higher power is something else. Clarice slowly starts realizing that this reality is fake, and it's the flamingos that tip her off. In their own way, they're making themselves visible and quote-unquote screaming at her, letting her know that nothing matters because nothing is real.
Well, Clarice, have the flamingos stopped screaming?
Perhaps I ought to return after all. I need support. Only one with chaos within can give birth to a dancing star.
Clarice? Shut down.
The connection between Flamingo and simulations is not just in the game. The Flamingo is a project of the Virgo Consortium for Cosmological Supercomputer Simulations. The acronym stands for Full Hydro Large-Scale Structure Simulations with All-Sky Mapping for the interpretation of next-generation observations. The Flamingo simulations in our world calculate the evolution of all components of the universe, ordinary matter, dark matter, and dark energy, according to the laws of physics. As the simulation progressed, virtual galaxies and clusters of galaxies emerged. There have been multiple scientific papers published on these simulations. Flamingo, the project in our world, not flamingos in the game Cyberpunk 2077, aim to address the limitations in previous cosmological simulations, which often focused solely on dark matter. By incorporating all components of the universe, ordinary baryonic matter, and dark energy, Flamingo provides a more comprehensive model of cosmic evolution. This holistic approach is crucial for interpreting data from the advanced observational facilities like the James Webb Space Telescope and the Euclid Space Telescope. We also have to mention that the scientific impact of this project is quite significant. By providing detailed simulations that align closely with the observational data, Flamingo enhances our understanding of the universe's large-scale structure. During the events of FF06B5, events that, by the way, we will dive deeper into in the upcoming Iceberg video, we get to know a person called Tyromanta. Tyromanta is the person that discovers the solution behind FF06B5 in the game. This entire solution is pointing firmly to the idea that there is a watcher out there, a powerful entity or being who can peek into our reality whenever they want. I'll read you the message that we find on the body of Tyromanta in the game. It's titled, "It Really Happened. I wandered the dark forest, the paths before me deliberately tangled. My steps were misled, the moon rose in a different place every night. I had to lose all hope to find the treasure at the very bottom. They tried to hide it from us, but the truth refused to stay hidden. Now that I carry the key, I feel at peace. I will not run, there's no point. Their eyes see everything. Those dead, glassy eyes, and the dead stars reflected in them. The key is the prize. Not all deserve to hold it. I will be its guardian for what little time I have left. Polyhisto will soon see the truth. What will he do with it? Accept it, or choose life and the lie that it is? For me, personally, the most interesting part of this is the following sentence. The moon rose in a different place every night. This is one of those things that's easily missable, but it's very important. Assuming that you're not trapped in an unstable error, like in a three-body problem type of scenario, then the moon should behave kind of like the sun, so rising in the east and setting in the west. If the moon is rising in a different place every night, for example, the moon is rising in the east on one day, west the other day, and south the day after, chances are you are in a simulated reality. After going through the events of FF06B5 and scanning the cube's QR code, we get a message from the Watcher, the being that has been watching us throughout the events of Cyberpunk 2077. This confirms the idea of a simulation. The idea that flamingos are screaming at you, warning you that you are in a simulation, doesn't seem obvious, which is why it's so easy to dismiss at first. But during one of the events in the game, when we can be sure that we are in a simulation, there's a small piece of detail that I missed before. Let's see if you notice what I'm talking about.
You need just one more sec!
Keep it down! Folks are trying to fucking sleep!
Man, your first pay run. Fuck me. More Eddies than all of us put together. How's it feel? How you gonna spend the scratch?
You'll see. I lost. Didn't I? Everything I did, the people I hurt, it's meaningless. it matters. Not at all.
Honestly, don't know anymore. Maybe Reed was wrong. Is wrong. Maybe you took things a step too far.
Reed's been wrong about so many things. I see it so clearly now. V. I'm sorry. There's something that I... Gotta be shitting me. Not going anywhere with you. Making me leave my home, my friends, everything worth a damn to me?
What's ahead is important. Worth so much more.
Yeah, no. Hard pass.
Think. Netwatch rolls up here. What happens to your people? Who trust you? Who care about you? Netwatch will know who lent you the eddies for your deck, who let you tap into the subnet of the cafe downstairs. Understand this. I'm the one chance at keeping you safe. Your friends safe. Or sure. Let them get hurt.
Blackmail. That your play? Don't know me enough.
But I do know your type, and I know your answer. Just haven't admitted it to yourself yet.
I thought if I could control the future, I'd feel safe always. But I should have looked to the past. To lessons about loss. Repeated. I've made many mistakes, V. Too many to count.
We all make mistakes. Shit. No, I've made my fair share.
Some mistakes are irreparable.
So what? Means you gotta quit? Stop fighting for yourself? Can't change the past, so me. With some memories, you turn your back and walk away.
It's true we die this way. Our memories to comfort us.
Lucky for us, Songbird's Mind Palace is not the only time we get to inhabit someone else's artificial reality. There's another instance in the game where we find ourselves in a simulation that we actually know that we are in a simulation at that time. This is when we get to see Johnny's memories from the AHQ bombing. The reason we know that Johnny's memories are fake is because Mike Pondsmith himself confirmed that the timeline from 2020 is the same timeline we see in Cyberpunk Red, and it's also the same timeline we see in Cyberpunk 2077. So basically, this is a simulated memory that has been inserted into Johnny's engram. Inside this simulation, we also find a flamingo. The flamingos in Cyberpunk 2077 are not just there for the vibes. They are a signal, just like the cat in the Matrix, that this reality is artificial. We could go even deeper on this theory and cover all the other evidence we found regarding the simulation theory of Cyberpunk, but that will have to wait for now. I know some of you are wondering what the hell I'll put inside the iceberg video since I'm dropping this now, but I have other discoveries and other fun theories to share in the iceberg video. I'll also be covering some theories that we've talked about before, pieces of information that could be useful while playing Cyberpunk 2077. An example of some of the things that I'll add in the iceberg video. For example, I believe I found the location where CDPR hid the original solution of FF06B5 before the release of patch 2.0. This was something that was in the game from the very beginning, at least according to CDPR themselves, and if that is the case, I believe I found the location where they hid it. CDPR hid it in a location that most people have never even seen, let alone roamed around in. In the iceberg video, we will be able to walk around that location and analyze why this could be the original location for the solution of FF06B5. But of course, that's for the iceberg video. For now, I'm curious what you guys think about the flamingo theory, so drop a comment below to let me know. Take care guys, and I'll see you in the next one.